Hey traders, Trader Mike from MS100 here with you today. And today the markets were down. VIX was up, markets down. Today, before we get into the analysis, I do want to talk a little bit about one mistake that I made in the last 2 days, and I actually made it twice. Not checking the earnings date on the stocks that you own. I had two surprises, one on Semiconductor and the other one on I am gold. Both of them, I didn't notice that the earnings were coming out, and luckily, I did have the earnings going in my favor in both of those stocks. They did push up higher in the morning. I did sell the on this morning because I didn't like the price action in it, and I was thinking about selling I am gold, but I did notice a nice little relative strength trade here in I am gold, so I did keep it during the day. And I'm going to show you how I pick out relative strength in a stock before we actually get into the charts. Now I'm looking at relative strength on an intraday basis. Basically what you want to see in a stock is as the market's moving down, the stock is actually moving sideways to up here. And this is a good example of showing relative strength versus the market. Notice how in the morning here we kind of open flat and consolidate sideways as the market starts to sell. We do get some selling pressure in IM Gold here this morning around 950. And around 950 the market is just continuing to sell. And notice how right here in the market we're continuing to sell here, yet we're actually stair-stepping up and consolidating sideways here on the IM Gold chart. So that was showing me that there was some pretty good strength in this stock, and that there was definitely a good buying, some good buying pressure here in the market. Sorry for getting tripped up on my words there. Now as we're looking later on in the day, we're kind of just holding flat here in IM Gold and grinding up as the market's just grinding sideways and down. Now notice here around the 1345, so 145 Eastern time level, we see kind of IM Gold here. We're consolidating sideways, and it actually started to bottom and started to get some buying pressure here in the markets. Well, right at that time in the markets, we were actually selling in the markets and consolidating sideways as IM Gold's price action was going up. And then once we started to sort of rally here towards the end of the day in the S&P here, you actually can see IM Gold just pushed a lot higher, and it was very strong. Now that's kind of what I look for in relative strength. I have about 50 to 75 stocks up on my screen at once, and as the market starts to pull back, I start to look and see which stocks are holding some relative strength here in the markets. Now I am still long this one into tomorrow. I do have very few positions on at the moment. Just holding some cash, looking at the numbers, what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's where I am positioned tomorrow. If we do get some good numbers tomorrow and the market wants to buy, I will definitely pull up some setups and buy into that. But other than that, I'm just holding some cash, playing a little on the safe side here. All right, now I just want to pull up the SPY daily, and we'll go into the chart. Now, today the Dow was down 24, the Nasdaq was down 20, the S&P was down 5.5, and the VIX was up 0.75 to around 3%. So basically, we had a down day. And looking at the volume here, you notice there's definitely some more selling pressure coming in. Now, looking at these ticks here on this green ticks over here on the MACD histogram, we're starting to tick down a little bit. The RSI is coming down, and we also are seeing that on the stochastics we crossed down a little lower. Now today in the markets we did make a new high, and we did make a new little low here on this candle from yesterday's candle. So new highs and new lows. We did have a pretty big trading range. Now it is going to be key if we get over that 170 level on the SPY and 107 on the S&P 500 to see if we actually make a little move to the upside here. Now I'm not really looking at any type of direction for tomorrow until we get the numbers and see what's going to happen during the day. But these are some areas that I'm watching. I'm watching a 23.6% retracement right around this level here, right underneath 98. I'm watching 107 to the upside, and then I am watching this level right here, 955, lines up perfectly with a 32% retracement, or that's 95.55 on the SPY. Other than that, traders, looking to go light positions into the weekend, starting fresh next week. That's all I have for you tonight. Come check us out on the site, www.ms100.com.